Our next inductee is Rod Annen. He was a multiple sports star, born and raised in Madison. Annen made his mark on the Madison sports scene early in life, took his talents to professional baseball, and came back to the capital city to continue his exploits. Rod Annen was born on July 26, 1929, at St. Mary's Hospital. His parents were Peter and Edna Annen, and Don was the first of 11 children. He first lived in the Westmoreland area, but the family quickly outgrew that house and moved to a bigger one on Mound Street, not far from St. James Church, the Milton and Charter Streets playground, and the shadows of Camp Randall Stadium. Annen grew up when there were only a select few of sports offered at the high school level, and his interests included those that were offered and some that were not. That meant at times he had to find opportunities to compete outside of the high school setting. He spent many hours competing in sports such as touch football, basketball, softball, even boxing at the local playground, and while attending St. James Elementary School. As a teenager, he said he began to refine his skills in the sports he loved. That included football, hockey, softball, baseball, and track and field. But hockey, baseball, and softball weren't offered at the high school level. Undaunted, as a 15-year-old, he tried out and made adult teams in these sports, playing for Frankie's Tavern in Major League's fast-pitch softball, baseball with Bowman Dairy in the Industrial League, and hockey with the Madison Ice Hockey Club, eventually to become the Madison Cardinals, a semi-pro team. Annen, as a 16-year-old pitching for Bowman Dairy, set records by pitching back-to-back complete game shutouts, allowing only 3 hits and pitching 18 shutout innings. He attended West High School from the fall of 1943 through the spring of 1947 and played football, basketball, and track and field all 3 years as a regent. His crowning year was his senior year. The football team won the Big 8 Conference, and Annen was named Honorable Mention All-State. Basketball tied for the Big 8 title, and in track and field he won the state pole vault as the Regents finished runners-up to Kenosha. After high school, Annen continued his competitive play. In 1949, with the Madison Cardinals, he and the team won the Wisconsin Hockey League. He played in the postseason All-Star game and scored a goal. But baseball seemed to be his most successful. Major League scouts had learned about the Madison teenager. He was named to the National Baseball Congress All-District All-Star team. Scouts from the Yankees, Cubs, Indians, and Phillies were interested, and the Yankees invited him to a tryout. But he opted for the Cubs because he could be closer to home playing minor league ball in Missouri. He started in D-ball and led the Carthage Cubs in home runs his first year. He won a C-League championship in Topeka in 1952, also leading the team in homers. From there, he rose to B-League play in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, but he suffered a career-ending back injury and retired. The Cubs offered him a managerial position, but he chose to walk away and return to Madison. Annen, after a short rehab, got back into the baseball and fast-pitch softball scene. In 1953, playing for Bowman Dairy, he led the league with a .523 average. Annen played until 1957. On the softball diamond, he joined the Madison Fire Department team and stayed with them through 1959. He initially planned to rejoin Frankie's Tavern, but Annen also needed a job since he had a wife and 2 sons to support. He wanted a position with the City of Madison Fire Department. Well, the story goes that the fire chief made it very clear that if Don wanted the job, he'd have to join the fire department team. He did, and they hired him. He was a city firefighter for 34 years and a town of Madison firefighter before retiring in 2009. He then moved on to Octopus Car Wash in the Major League for the next 8 seasons, winning many league titles and being named an All-Star on multiple occasions. The team disbanded in 1967, so Annen, several family members, and friends played for Marshall Lettering. In 1974, Annen was named to the Capital Times All-Time Madison Softball All-Stars. Now nearing his 50s, Annen slowed it down a little and played slow-pitch softball with the Stadium Bar. He stayed active in sports once he'd stopped playing. He was a WIAA football, hockey, and basketball official, a member of the Madison Softball Commission, and co-founder, coach, and president of the Southside Youth Hockey Association. Don has been married to Dorothy for 60 years. She is the sister of Madison Sports Hall of Famer Gus Burwell. Don says she was quite the athlete in her own right as a beautiful, sweet-swinging shortstop playing fast-pitch softball for the Barron Brothers team. They have 5 children, 13 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. At 81 years old, Don says he still plays a mean game of bocce ball at family reunions and is interested in taking up golf. The noted conversationalist says he's had a difficult time finding anyone to golf with him because he says, apparently, you're not supposed to talk all the time. Rod Annen said he knows, competed against, and played with many athletes who are in the Madison Sports Hall of Fame. He says to be honored and to once again have his name among such talents would be an overwhelming experience. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame and the American Family Insurance Company are truly honored to welcome Rod Annen to the class of 2011.